So after the last series, a lot of people probably did the obvious thing.
Started using it more seriously.
Yeah. Not just playing with it. Actually trying to get better results.
Which usually means looking up examples.
Prompt lists. Templates. Best prompts for marketers. Best prompts for writers.
Some of those lists have hundreds of them.
Sometimes thousands.
And they make a very convincing promise.
Unleash your creative AI engine.
Series 2, Episode 1, The Operator Instinct.
If you phrase the request correctly, you'll get exactly what you need.
Which honestly sounds reasonable.
You ask clearly. The system responds. You improve the wording. It responds again.
It feels like a controlled interaction.
And it feels smart.
Because you're becoming more specific.
More precise.
More intentional.
And for certain kinds of tasks, that is genuinely useful.
Right. Summaries. Cleanup. Known formats.
You know what you want. You ask for it. You get something usable back.
So naturally. You keep using it that way.
And that repeated success starts to teach you something. That asking better is the whole game. And once that habit sets in, your interaction starts to look very similar each time.
You open a new session. And you start by asking for something specific.
Usually in a format you've seen before. Something like this.
Fill in the blanks. Press Enter.
And you get something back that's pretty close. Not perfect, but close enough that you think, okay, let me tighten that up.
So you add a little more detail?
Maybe clarify the audience. Specify the tone. And run it again.
You are effectively tightening the specification.
You ask for something. It gives you an answer. You adjust the request. And then you ask again.
Until it looks right.
And then you move on.
A contained interaction. A defined outcome.
And after a while, that just becomes how you use it. You don't even think about it anymore.
It's just how it works.
And the reason that loop sticks is because it actually feels intelligent.
You're not just typing random things anymore. You're thinking about structure, wording, intent.
You're trying to be clear. You're trying to remove ambiguity.
You are increasing specificity in the request.
And that usually produces a better result.
So your brain connects those two things. More precise input. Better output.
Which reinforces the behavior. You start to believe. This is how you get better results.
Ask better. Specify more. Tighten the request.
And again. To be fair. That actually works in a lot of situations.
If you already know what you're trying to get. This method is fast.
Efficient. And very reliable.
It is a highly effective execution model.
So nothing about this feels wrong.
In fact, it feels like you're doing it right.
Which is why almost everyone settles here. This becomes the default way of working. So let's be very clear about something. This approach works extremely well. In the right situations.
And those situations are actually pretty common.
They tend to fall into a few patterns. First, when the task itself is already clear.
You know exactly what you're trying to get.
Summarize this. Rewrite that. Clean this up.
The objective is predefined.
Second, when the format is already known.
Email. Add copy. A script. A report.
You're not discovering the structure. You're filling it in.
The constraints are already established.
And third, when you're retrieving or organizing information.
Explain this concept. List the steps.
Give me examples.
You are effectively querying a knowledge space.
So in all of these cases, the problem is already well defined.
The outcome is already understood.
And the system is just helping you get there faster. Which is exactly what it's good at. But there's another set of situations where that same approach doesn't quite hold. And they follow a very different pattern. First, when you're trying to explore something,
You don't fully know what you're looking for yet.
you're trying to figure it out as you go. Second, when the thinking itself is open-ended.
You're not filling in a structure. You're trying to discover one.
And third, when the problem is strategic.
The outcome cannot be fully specified in advance.
You don't have a clean description of what right looks like yet. And this is where something subtle happens. The same instinct to tighten the prompt starts to work against you.
Because you're trying to define something that hasn't fully emerged yet.
The more you define the outcome, the less room there is for anything new to appear.
So instead of expanding, you start getting variations of the same thing.
Cleaner, tighter, but not really different. And that's where the loop starts to plateau. So now you have two different experiences.
In one, everything feels smooth and predictable.
You ask, refine, and get what you need.
And in the other, something feels off.
You keep refining, but it doesn't really move.
It just shifts slightly each time.
And that difference is easy to miss. Because the process still looks the same.
You're still asking, still refining, still doing everything right.
But the result isn't expanding anymore.
The interaction has reached a boundary.
And the problem isn't obvious. Because everything you're doing still makes sense.
It still feels like progress.
But it's a different kind of problem entirely. Not about asking better, but about something else you haven't been using yet.
And once you see that difference, you can't really unsee it.
So the question isn't whether this works. It's what happens when it stops.